What's going on, everybody? It's your boy w-ENRI, aka TDA, the Devil's Advocate, and we're back with another episode of I'm Just Saying, the podcast with w-ENRI. And this time, I'm chopping it up with a few friends of mine, and we're talking about the Tekashi69 case. But before I introduce these guests, I want to salute everyone who has recently joined the Patreon. If you haven't joined the Patreon and you listen on any platform, I don't care what it is, YouTube, Apple, Anchor, Spotify, there are certain content you won't get, period. It's only for the patrons only. It's only $1 to sign up for the Patreon. The link will be in the description. Sign up. We got some battles up there. We got some special content for y'all. You will get the podcast 4 to 7 days earlier than anybody else because it'll be directly dropped on the Patreon first before it goes out. This episode will be on the Patreon first before you even hear it anywhere else. And we got a couple of arguments up there, a couple of debates, a couple of verbal fights. Just check it out, subscribe, enjoy. Now let's get into it. I got my man Boom on the line. I got my man Rishi on the line. I don't know if they're mic'd up, but they definitely
Yo, what's happening?
What's going on, man? We're talking about this Tekashi69 case, man, and the first question I want to ask you, because I know how it makes me feel as an insider being from New York, but as an outsider looking in, how far did this set New York back, man?
Oh man, damn, that's a heavy question right out the gate.
Yeah, we going straight to the shits.
Yeah. I don't think this one incident, man, my take on it is like, I don't think this one particular incident, as far as the snitching is concerned, is like really what did it as far as taking New York back a step. I think it's the entire process as we watched it unfold, is kind of what took New York back. This is kind of just like the icing on the cake, you know what I'm saying? Because we all envisioned something like this happening because we knew we was dealing with somebody that wasn't a street nigga to begin with. And you have street niggas that tell... Huh?
I'm glad you made that comment because I got a question for you after you finish your statement, but continue.
Okay. And like I said, street niggas tell. So what do you think is going to happen with a nigga who's not a street nigga to begin with? So it's like, you know what I'm saying, when we seen the shenanigans starting to take place with the trolling, and then it went from that to, the Chicago shit, and then, it went into, well, even before that, the case with the little girl and stuff like that, then the Chicago shit, then you had, the rumblings between him and Treyway starting to take place, it was just like a long line of shit that you kind of saw what the outcome was already going to be. Now, I don't think we thought it was going to be this severe as far as the charges and shit like that, but I think the whole process as a whole is what kind of made. And you know what, hold on real fast, let me say this real fast, TV. I don't even know if it really took New York a step back, because when I think of Tekashi69, I don't think he's a representation of New York. He's from New York.
Yeah, but if I'm going to be honest, I'll try to be as honest as I can. If there was no snitching involved, he would have been one of the biggest sensations coming out of New York in a very long time in New York. Damn sure. See, my thing is the way we're like, we ain't fucking with that nigga. We ain't really trying to claim him because this happened. If this never happened, we damn sure would have been like, yeah, that's us. We would have been like, so it's like, just because it's
I just thought of a different dynamic. I just had a revelation to why it did. You know what? It does take y'all a step back, because when you have a situation such as the Bobby Shmurda situation and Rowdy situation, where you see an example of loyalty being shown, and niggas getting banged up on severe heavy charges and taking those charges and doing the time, and see, this is the reason why it resonates. The reason why it resonates as well is because these cats are in the same age bracket. They're in the same generation as Tekashi. And
but I feel that particular incident made New York look, and I know people gonna be like, huh? it made New York look. I feel pushed it forward. That Bobby Shmurda
It
situation.
did.
The
It
simple
made
fact
them
is,
look good. It made the young generation of New York look solid out here. Like, damn, that you know what I'm saying? Like that's real shit. You know what I'm saying?
and
It's
ladies and
OGs out
gentlemen,
here that haven't
we're
that
not
haven't.
singing, we're not trying to glorify the lifestyle that they live. We're just simply saying if you play in dirt, you get dirty, and don't get mad when the dirt get on your clothes. Them niggas did not get mad when the dirt got
That's a
on their
fact.
clothes. They dealt with it and they sat there in them dirty clothes. That's what
That's
we're
a
talking. We're
fact.
not glorifying the lifestyle. I just wanted to point that out.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, and I think this, and it's crazy because I think all this is Brooklyn related. Isn't Bobby from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is all. Hey man, y'all niggas been in the news, man. From the Troy Ave shit to Tekashi to the Bobby shit back at, like, what's going on out there, man? Talk to me.
I'm a civilian, so I don't know what's going on. But see, the difference is this is why I'm not on
And
the
the
fence on
podcast nigga too. I forgot what's old boy name.
uh um 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 oh man, I can't forget him. He the reason why I'm doing this today.
I can't believe the
Um
nigga. I can't believe I forgot the nigga name.
for
It was
real,
on the
for
tip of
real.
my
Oh my
tongue.
god.
Pause.
It's right there too. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, all
He
that,
did
all
that's
that
the
is
one that did
Brooklyn.
the Meek Mill interview.
Right, right. Tax Stone. There we go.
Tax Stone. There it goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whew. Salute for that answer,
Yeah,
whoever
so
gave it.
so Brooklyn, yeah.
Tax, yeah, I mean, yeah. But I mean, I
Yeah.
do research online on YouTube and Googling, and there's a lot of other cities and states that got their fair share of bullshit. It's not magnified. I think it's just a light on New York. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
for
over.
sure. I think it's more so because all this is like kind of like consecutive though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's more so because it's Brooklyn, or
See, but
I'm
at the
saying a
same
city.
time, I think that's a good thing. And the reason I'm gonna try to flip that into a good thing is it being consecutive means we can literally place it on one specific generation. We can just say this specific generation is out of pocket versus the
I
old
mean,
days
you
where
can, but tax is not in that generation as well though. Like tax is supposed to be,
ah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of
But
negates that.
tax situation to where he's standing tall on his time.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely standing. Well, no, I'm not talking about as far as him standing tall in his time. I'm just talking about as far as like him, the activity that take place. Like every like the synonymous thing is that a lot of fuck shit has been happening. Whether it's good on one side or good on the other, you know what I'm saying? It's been taking place. And so you have the Bobby situation, which is probably the brightest light and best, like you said, we're not glorifying whatever was happening, but in terms
That's a
of on a
fact.
street level, it's the best look out of all these situations. With the Bobby Shmurda situation, and then the rest, the Troy Ave, there's fuckery involved. You know what I mean? I believe, you know what I'm saying, his man's got killed. Banger, I think that was his name. Banger ended up getting killed. Another little shorty got shot in the club. That kind of killed a lot of momentum for events taking place in certain, you know what I mean, venues in New York, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? The Troy Ave, Tax Stone, you know what I mean? He was doing new generation shit as far as the podcast and stuff like that, but this is a OG, you know what I'm saying, that had a feud with somebody within Brooklyn, which is probably street related, gang related, or whatever, I don't know. But that took place. Then you got the Tekashi out of nowhere coming out the woodworks, which, you know what I mean, he was doing his numbers with the singles and shit like that, but got involved in some shit that, you know what I'm saying, he had no business, you know what I mean, dibbling dabbling with. And we see the outcome now. Niggas is being implicated, names is being dropped, Jim Jones' name being dropped, and a couple other niggas. I haven't even listened to the full interview, but I'm pretty sure you heard it.
I got a couple of questions on that. I mean, I'm not trying to implement anything about you or anything, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, okay, you're a street nigga. I'm just gonna say you have your ears to the streets, and we're just gonna leave it at that. So for a person who has their ears to the streets, isn't a code for a street nigga? One of the codes is keep all the squares out your circle. Is that correct?
Let me say this before I address that. I'm not. I never have classified myself as a street nigga. I'm just a nigga that's been in the streets for majority of my life, and I paid attention to what was going on around me, being around certain niggas, hanging around certain crowds, hanging in certain clubs. So yeah, that's how I would describe myself. So with that being said, I've always known that you always keep the squares out the circle.
Well, okay. Now, with that being said,
And I
the
don't even
issue
think you
with
got to be a street nigga to apply that logic.
that's
Just
true. But with
that's
that
just in
being
life,
said, with the
period.
Taxstone and the Tekashi situation, with the Taxstone and Troy Ave beef, whatever that was going on between Tax and Troy, I'm not trying to punch on Troy, but in my eyesight, he's a square. So I mean, I think Tax wasn't even
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to be
we got to
fighting for him.
address that because I don't feel like y'all give Troy like. I think y'all give him a bad rap, man. And I've been wanting to talk to some New York niggas about like y'all opinions on Troy because I think he getting like the shit end of the stick. Like I don't think he's getting like I think he's getting ridiculed because we're not talking music. The way he came into the music industry, braggadocious, arrogant, like that's different. But when it comes to like this personal shit that's taking place, I'm not understanding why New York or Brooklyn per se or whatever the case may be is like really like bashing this nigga. So maybe you can kind of give me some
It's
insight.
it's 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 because of what y'all don't see.
Mm.
Like you
Okay,
have to
so
be here to know about it. Like
right.
there's
Okay, see, yeah,
certain
that's why I
moves
said
that
I
was
can't
made
speak
on his
on that. So
behalf. Yeah, that because of the individuals handle it not on his side but on the op side, holding it down to where they're not even speaking on it because you don't speak on certain shit. A lot of people don't know certain shit, so it looks like, oh, we just picking on them when we know what moves was made behind the scenes and what was what in the streets when it happened. To where nah, you don't move like that, bro. Like that's not how you know what I mean. You don't you don't do that to the hood, like you know what I mean, like.
no, I feel you. I feel you. I feel
and
you.
and
My
I'm
thing
not
is
I'm not
my thing is
qualified to speak on it, so I don't want to dwell inside on what went on. But I'm not qualified to speak on it, so I'm gonna just leave it at he made some certain moves that people don't know about that just made us look like, all right, you corny for that.
yeah, and you know that's when you start getting inside of New York politics. So you know what I'm saying if you're not a nigga from there or you know what I mean there can't really speak on that. My perspective on it as far as outside of the New York shit, just the shit that's visible to the people is like you know what I'm saying because I know he caught a lot of flack when I think he said something like you know what I mean he would take the stand to give an account of what happened. So my thing is this: um, from the outside looking in, and I want to make sure I say that so niggas know I don't have the inside stories. But from the outside, what the public was able to see, it looked like one nigga was bullying another nigga. So the bully would be Taxstone, and Troy Ave would be the victim of the bullying, just taking constant, you know what I mean, bashing for whatever reason, blase, blase, blah. Okay, it finally came to, you know what I mean, to a collision. Now, when we look at what happened that night, uh, everybody has pretty much said that, niggas was in there and Taxstone, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, popped it off. Um, and, as anybody else would do, a nigga defended itself. You know what I'm saying? And shit got crazy in there. Now, here's what I know about the streets and when you have to deal with police. In that situation, there's a victim in that situation. Besides RIP, you know what I mean, buddy that ended up dying, and
R.I.P. Becky.
yeah, and there was another victim. There was another victim, but I don't think she died or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about as far as victim in terms of uh, Troy Ave was a victim because he was basically attacked was basically attacked and had to defend itself. Now, anytime you're in a situation where you are the victim in the police's eyes, give me 1 second. Let me turn this down real fast. Hold on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand. I see the point where you were going. I think I kind of understand the angle you're going to take. We just wait for him to get back. And salute to Rishi in the building, tuning in. To answer your question, how I feel about Jim. Again, that's a situation to where, as a civilian, I'm not qualified to speak on. I don't know, I don't have that thought process of somebody, like in the gang, how I would handle myself if a situation like that arose, because I can't even think like that because I'm not in that position to speak on it. So I'll just say, if I was Jim, I'd be pissed, if somebody had brought my name up in a situation to where they didn't have to, and especially if that situation could, stop, me from making money, stop me from being free, take my freedom away, I wouldn't feel comfortable, but at the same time, meaning, and this is probably, going to sound very, how can I say it, naive, but from a civilian's point of view, it's kind of like you should know what you signed up for if you live in this particular lifestyle. And the point I was trying to bring up with the I should have just went with the Tekashi scenario first before I went to Tax Stone, but I'm glad I went with Tax Stone because he was able to get all of this content. Everybody knew that Tekashi was a square. Everybody, even non-trade knew that he was a square. They saw an opportunity and they wanted to take advantage of it. At the same time, you put a square in your circle, and anytime you put a square in your circle, there's an opportunity for shit to shape shift. When I mean for shit to shape is the shit to change from the way your operation was already currently running. If your operation is militant and you bring an unmilitant person inside the operation, you're only as good as your weakest link. And the weakest link would be Tekashi. I understand why everyone's mad, but at the same time, it's like when Charlemagne knew this would happen. And him being right. And he getting on the radio talking about, damn, I'm mad that I'm right. We kind of, 1 + 1 = 2, no matter how you try to write it out. You can write it out 1 + 1. You can write it out the number 1, the plus sign, and the number 1. You can write it out in words. You can write it out horizontally, vertically. The answer's still 2. So that's my take on as far as when it comes to Jim. That's pretty much my take on that as far as it comes to Jim. But I heard all of the just keep it going so boom get back. I heard all of the audio from the trial. I saw the video of the kidnapping, and first off, I'm gonna start with the video. From the video, what I saw, what was creepy to me is the area, because I know the area very well. I'm gonna just say that very, very well, like the back of my hand. And the way Tekashi was trying to defend himself, talking, yo, bro, he was, you can tell, he knew he done fucked up. But the way dude was questioning him, you could low-key tell, he knew saying this shit that could go this way or that way. Because you could tell by his tone, fuck, you fucked up a good opportunity for us. Shit like that. Shit was crazy. Tekashi was pleading his case. It really didn't work, but what they did in the jail was crazy, because not in jail, in the court, was crazy, because everything that he said.
And my apologies.
No, you good. But backtracking the tax. We'll get back to Tekashi in a little bit, but go ahead, continue. You were saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we was just talking about yeah. Anytime you're in a situation like that, where the police consider you, because see, you don't have a choice of whether or not the police label you as the victim. So in that situation, he's the victim in that situation. I don't care who you are. When you are labeled the victim, you have to give a statement. Period. Now, it's up to you in terms of what that statement is going to actually say. You don't have to give details as to, personal information, or I know this nigga by this name, or, whatever, but you have to give a statement of what took place. So I think that's where the backlash began with Troy Ave, as far as I saw it from the outside looking in, is because people were criticizing him for giving a statement.
And you know
He's
what?
a victim.
I can see how you would get that conclusion, and I can see
Yeah,
how
he's a
I
victim of a
understand that.
crime. He has to give a statement of what of what took place. Now, in that statement, he never said, "Oh, it was Taxstone." He never said it was a nigga that looked like this. He was blase blase blah, braids, and he never gave a description of anybody. But he did give an account of what happened. That is not snitching. That is doing what you have no choice but to do. Give a statement because you are victimized in that situation. And he did what any other niggas has to do. Um, now him saying that he will take the stand, this is where it gets tricky. Because if I was him, I wouldn't have said that. So this is where it does get tricky moving
I'm
forward.
not him, and I wouldn't have said that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, knowing that there's street things involved here, I'm not going to say that verbally for everybody to pick it up and run with, because now clearly you're involved in some street shit. Niggas are gunning for you. You've had one or two instances after that event where niggas tried to take you out. So it's obviously some high level street shit within Brooklyn going on. There's some sort of beef. I don't know if it's a BSB thing. I don't know if it's just strictly a Troy Ave thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the niggas that Taxstone run with. I don't have all those details, but there's somebody feuding within Brooklyn, and these two niggas just happen to be the face of the feud, is the way that it seems. Now, like I said, I wouldn't have said I'd take the stand, but I'm still not really grasping why New York is so upset at Troy Ave. Like, because any other nigga in Troy Ave's shoes would have did exactly what Troy Ave did. I understand that one person is... this is what happens when one person is more liked than the other. Because Taxstone was clearly the more well-liked individual prior to this happening. You understand? So it's like, but in real nigga times and terms, if we gonna keep it 100, it shouldn't be about who's more well-liked. Who kept it real and did what any real nigga would do, regardless of whether you like the nigga or not. I never liked Troy Ave. I didn't start liking Troy Ave until all this shit happened, because I started seeing, like, damn, like, niggas is really, like, you know what I'm saying, like boy just really trying to, you know what I mean, defend himself. Whoop-de-whoop. And it seemed like the whole world, the whole state of New York, man, Troy Ave a bitch, man, Troy Ave a hoe, man, Troy Ave did it. I'm like, damn, it's kind of fucked up. So I started listening to the White Christmases, you know what I'm saying, like 2 and 3 and stuff like that. And then I forgot one album that he dropped. I'm like, yo, boy actually kind of got some cool records, but he came in the game wrong. He came in the game with the arrogance of 50 and didn't have 50 material. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I don't know, man. I just think
So do you say the same applies with Tekashi? I mean, he was kidnapped. Niggas did fuck his baby mom, was extorting him. Like,
well, see, it's not the same with Tekashi, because Tekashi I see as an exploit. He was an and I think Posey had said it the other night on the show the other night. Yeah, shout out to Posey. He was basically a lick, you know what I'm saying, that was successfully hit. And niggas capitalized on, niggas saw that, damn, son got a buzz right now. He could do a lot right now as the face of what we got going on. Let's bring him in. And he was with it because he wanted to be cool. This is normally what happens with niggas who aren't street niggas, but get an opportunity to do street shit or be a part or not, be affiliated with street shit. They can be
Mm-hmm.
taken advantage of. And this is why I said it was an exploit, because Tekashi was never built for what Treyway really had going on, but he was the
Mm-hmm.
face because of music. This is why you know what I'm saying, when you mix music and entertainment with with the streets, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times you can get shit like this that ends up happening. You know what I mean? So um I think they different situations. Like I think all three of these situations are different with the Bobby, Troy Ave and Taxstone and this Tekashi and Treyway ordeal. I think they all have similarities, but they're different at the same time. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it, man.
Can people really blame Tekashi for doing what he's doing right now?
No, you can't blame the nigga. He's not a street nigga. he's a he's a civilian that, you know, however the music career jumped off. I don't know the full details behind that, but it did. He gained a buzz immediately being a Mexican kid who, you know what I'm saying, was
Rainbow
putting
hair.
out rainbow hair with a big 6ix9ine tatted on his face. But you know what? Damn, he actually makes decent record. He makes decent music. Okay, we can capitalize on this, exploit this, take it to this level. But it's like when things go sour and things go south, this is what you have that happens. So it's kind of like you don't blame Tekashi, you blame the niggas behind Tekashi, because you decided to. It's like how do you decide to fool with a cat? I mean a kid like that, and not expect, especially if you guys know you're doing real shit. Like y'all not playing out here. Like y'all actually doing real shit. How do you
Mm-hmm.
not foresee this happening? Because it's not gonna happen if y'all are playing out here. If it's just Treyway, it's just something. It's just a, you know what I mean? Like it's a fad. It's just something we came up with. And no, it's like no niggas. Like Treyway is a real thing. It's niggas out here putting work in the street. Like so when things go bad, and he's gonna automatically be attached and associated with it because he's screaming it every single time we see him on Instagram or we see him on camera. You think he's not gonna bring you niggas down with him? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's really like on some Jerry Springer shit. Like for real. Like
Shit
it's
crazy.
like a
This shit
soap
is
opera.
crazy.
Like you know what I'm
This shit
saying?
is crazy.
Like
This is
to have something like
wow.
this in rap, it's like I don't think we really like are realizing it, or just like this really like is some soap opera shit. Like like I said, a Mexican kid just so happened to know how to rap a little bit, make good music, attached itself to a gang that was actually doing real shit in the street. Niggas got knocked in the street, but he's attached to the brand. Now he's in jail, incarcerated, and spilling out all the information. Like like damn, this shit could be a movie. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this this
That's
this
a
could be
fact.
a movie. So yeah, man, it's I don't know, man. The whole just I'll just say to sum it up, the whole Tekashi situation, like from beginning to end, like this shit. And what's crazy is people don't realize it's started and finished like in a year and a half. Like
Yeah, I
all
was just
these
about to
events.
say the crazy part. What people don't understand is in a little over 90 days, the nigga will no longer be in prison.
Like that's crazy. Like a nigga on the, because I heard on the tape he said that the dude asked him, "What were you charged with?" And he said 9 counts of racketeering. I don't even have to say any of the other charges. Because
Yeah.
any nigga that knows business, racketeering charges are normally associated with high level corporations and CEOs and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. Or niggas that are heavy in the dope game. When niggas say I got hit with the
Yeah.
RICO is racketeering. That's some shit you don't want to be involved with. Like that's
Especially 9 counts of them shit.
9 counts. You know what I'm saying? And to hear, like you just said, within 90 days, a nigga will be jail free. Oh, nigga done gave up some info.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. I've never
That nigga
heard
gave up everything.
of that.
That
Like,
nigga
if a
gave up
nigga could
everything.
tell everything, but like there be something past everything, like he did that.
That's a fact.
That's crazy. Yeah, man.
Nigga,
So
nigga spent a year and a half in protective custody. And
yeah,
dodged
man.
nine,
And
nine
we was talking. I
racketeering
think
counts.
that was last night where Rishi. I think he mic'd up but muted right now. Where Rishi was basically saying this man's gonna be able to come home and make music again. And when Rishi said that, I'm like, nah, no way. But then I had to think to myself, like, I had to think about this generation.
Yeah, it's different. It's
And I said,
different.
you know what? He's gonna be able to make music
Yep.
like that. Like, and I don't know if it was you or somebody else said, like, no, I think it was Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy. I think Jimmy said, man, like, we got to get back to a point where niggas get outed. Like,
That's a fact.
like, like, how does a man who's there's no speculation. It's not under question if he
Somewhere
snitched.
down the line, rules got broken, and there was no punishments for rules being broken.
None. The man snitched. We actually heard it. Like it's not speculation. And we're still sitting here saying that he's gonna be able to come out of jail and make music and survive in the industry. Like how does that happen?
Bruh, I don't know.
Like and this is where, you know what I'm saying, niggas like MVP, you know what I'm saying, would be dope to speak on this. Shout out to MVP to where it's like, as much as I defend the young generation, this is something I can't defend the young generation on, because how do y'all allow this to happen? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I feel a lot that Rishi and MVP speak on about the young generation, because I do feel they get a bad rap sometimes. But when you can come and still say, well, he's going to be able to make music and be just fine out here, I have to look at y'all. Like, how do the youth of the generation within the rap game, because there's going to be niggas that still do features with this man. How does that happen?
Yeah, I
Like,
gotta see who those features are. I gotta
you know
see.
what I'm saying?
I gotta question
But
everybody
my
who's
thing is, it
featured.
shouldn't be anybody. Like, I see, and matter of fact, I know Richie said this exactly. He said he's gonna do a feature with Lil Baby and blah 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 blah. Lil Baby's not gonna do it. See, there's certain level of cats that I don't expect that they're not gonna work with Tekashi. Like Lil Baby on the outside looking in might look like, a fad, and you know what I mean. And he may be his run may be for maybe another 6 months, another year, or whatever the case. But when I tell you, Lil Baby is a real street nigga that really moves shit in Atlanta. When niggas get their chain snatched, niggas in the rap community in the A, or niggas get their audio books, snatched at the gas stations, like, you know what I mean, P or 2 Chainz and shit. When you need a nigga to get your shit back without giving nothing in return, you ask Lil Baby to get it back, and he's got it back every time. So those caliber of niggas, I know, are not going to go that route of dealing with a Tekashi. But you do have those cats that aren't bred like that are still gonna do features with this nigga.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know how you gonna pull it off, man, but This shit is crazy, and I
Y'all doing
appreciate
the
you
show?
coming up. Yeah. What's
yeah.
good,
I'm
Jimmy?
gonna take
My
a
bad,
two-minute
Flav.
I'm gonna take a 2-minute intermission to roll this blunt, and
Most good.
yeah, keep the party going.
Nah, Jimmy, we were just punching on the Tekashi 69 situation, and
No, that I heard what Boone was saying. That was it. Boone be knowing shit, man. Like Boone, I'm starting to think Boone, like, listen, he from out here too, man. I might need to call. It's like, no, we stop playing. Boone be knowing some shit, man. He be knowing, man.
nah, but what you think are the chances of Tekashi coming out making music and being able to make music and
You
be
know the fucked
successful?
up. You know the fucked up part. Like, first thing that came to my head, and I think we're all like me, you, Boom. A lot of us, we old school hip hop fans. We would have thought that would have been like career suicide for a guy like him. But a guy like him, I feel like it'll behoove him to not make music because like people gonna be on his ass like on the road. But I do feel like a guy like him, man, like he shouldn't have a career because I feel like everything he perpetrated in his music, whether you got a new rollout or not, like fuck your new rollout. The shit you portrayed was a gang lifestyle that you're really not a part of. Which people been exposing the dude since he came out. And I think like he got away with calling everybody a hater so much. Like he really was claiming Crip first. He really was doing certain things first. And I just feel like, it's very fraudulent. The chances of him selling records though, with dick riders like DJ Academics and shit like that on his coattail, like I think he'll still be able to sell records, but it'll behoove him not to because on tour, like they're gonna have a green light on that boy.
Yeah, he's gonna have to walk around with a whole bunch of security, man. I
Yeah, he a
appreciate your
fucking
input.
weirdo.
Appreciate your input, man. That's probably it, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna wrap this up. Again, this is dropping on the Patreon first. There's a lot of content on the Patreon that is not anywhere else. So if you want all of the content, subscribe to the Patreon, man. Again, salute to Boomer, salute to Jimmy, salute to Rishi for texting in. And I'm out. Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself. Until next time, peace.